All right, good evening. Tonight we're going to discuss the shutdown, if it happens. So this is fake President-elect Joe Biden, Slow Joe. He's blabbering about shutdowns here, and he's basically reversing course. Again, get used to that. Let's just play this, and hopefully we can glean something out of this from the gibberish. So let's make sure the volume is set up right so that you can actually hear it. That looks good. Okay, here we go. This is the Guardian. I'm sorry, this is the Telegraph. So the Telegraph has 1.5 million subs, and this is from yesterday, and it's got 3,000 views. So I mean, Joe Biden has received the most presidential votes than any person in the history of the United States, including 2008 Barack Obama. And Barack Obama was a superstar. He drew crowds. He was very articulate. People liked him. People thought he had a good message. And yeah, that's about all I can say about that. But somehow this clown got way more votes, 75 million, something like that. And somehow people are so energetic that he's only got 3,000 views on this gibberish here. So this is about shutdowns. Let's just give it a listen here.
Okay,
Hopefully
and
don't get copyright
given the
striked here.
death toll now, more than 250,000 Americans who have now lost their lives,
This is
you
the
have
first
said
scripted
that
question.
you would support a nationwide shutdown if scientists recommended it.
No.
You've spoken to scientists
you
now.
Everybody asks that question every single time I stand here.
Right, Joe, because this is why. In August, you said I'd shut down the economy if scientists recommend. I would follow public health advisors' advice. I would be prepared to do whatever it takes to save lives. We cannot get the country moving until we control the virus. I would shut it down. Okay. Let me see if he says it in this video.
Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris giving their first joint interview together since teaming up in their run for the White House. It aired earlier tonight right here on ABC as they sat down with David Muir and Robin Roberts. They spoke about everything from race to the post office delivering ballots to the upcoming debates and the economy.
Will you raise taxes?
I will raise taxes for anybody making over $400,000. Let me tell you.
Yeah, okay, so let's just cut in right there. Right, that's a lie, too. This is a little bonus lie. So, basically, he's going to let the Trump tax cuts expire, which is going to raise taxes on pretty much everyone making under $100,000. I mean, I'm going to be losing approximately $3,500 a year. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. So, continue.
Tell you why I'm going to do it. It's about time they start paying a fair share of the economic responsibility we have.
You know, I'm fucking sick to death of this whole pay your fair share shit, all right? It's raising taxes doesn't help the economy, ever. So, here we go. Keep going.
Very wealthy should pay a fair share. Corporations should pay a fair share. The fact is, there are corporations making close to $1 trillion that pay no tax at all.
Okay, Joe, let me just give you a little lesson in economics. Corporations don't pay taxes. Their customers do. I don't know why this got into tax. Why is this video in here? It has nothing to do with the fucking shutdown. So let's just get back on. Let's get back on target here. So he's pretty much going to contradict everything I read in that article. Forget the stupid tax tangent we got off on there.
It was a hypothetical question. The answer was I would follow the science. I am not going to shut down the economy, period. I'm going to shut down the virus.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to shut down.
Well, that means he's not going to do jack shit. All right. Okay. Carry on.
So that's
I'll
ruled
say
out.
it again. No national shutdown. No national shutdown. Because every region, every area, every community can be different. And so there's no circumstance which I can see would require a total national shutdown.
Okay. So I'm from Missouri, and hopefully this clip will be saved in perpetuity so that we can bring it back in, I'm just going to say 2 months. So we'll see. All right. This is where he gets a little incoherent. So I kind of know what he's trying to say, but he doesn't do a very good job saying it. And he's all over the place too. So here we go.
I think that would be counterproductive. We talked a lot about with the governors about what the immediate needs are. We're going to employ the Defense Reconstructive Act.
The Defense Reconfecta Act. Oh, no, I'm not familiar with that one, but let's just listen to that again. Make sure I heard that right. Defense Reconfecta Act.
Employ the Defense Reconstructive Act to be able to go out there and...
Defense Reconfecta Act. Does that have something to do with candy making? I don't know. Anyway, go on.
Dictate companies build and do following things.
What?
The act to be able to go out there and dictate companies build and do following things.
Dictate companies do build following things. I'm confused.
We need much more testing. We need much more masking. We need gloves. I asked them each to go, and I asked the National Governors Association through the Governor Cuomo and the ones on the line to let us know what their shortages are, what they anticipate. Because we're going to move on day one. That should be moved on now. But if it waits, it takes a long time to get this thing going.
Wow, that's pretty incoherent. So that individual got the most votes of any human being in American history, including 2008 Barack Obama. That clump of cells there. So influenza activity for this time of year remains lower than usual. I wonder why. I wonder why COVID is spiking so much. Probably because people are going back. The kids are going back to school. Their little petri dishes. They come home, infect mom and dad. Usually this is full of yellow and orange, and it isn't. So 1.5% of highlight. Why won't you let me highlight you? What is going on here? Well, I can't highlight it, but trust me, it says 1.5% of visits to healthcare provider were for influenza-like illness. So usually it's 2.6% at this time of year. So ILI surveillance, which is influenza-like illness, may be impacted by the COVID pandemic and should be interpreted with caution. Or maybe there's a whole bunch of false positives that are the flu or cold that are being reported as COVID, hence explaining the COVID spike. But again, I'm no doctor. I'm no infectious disease expert. I just pretend to be one on Twitter like everybody else. Actually, go ahead. So, brace yourselves to be disappointed by Joe Biden. So, I think a lockdown is coming. Again, I'm from Missouri. Now, also, Mr. Joe kind of beat around the bush about cannabis reform. So, it appears that President-elect Joe Biden may already be falling short on some of his campaign promises. Damn, he's only been like 2.5 weeks. And the people that are saying, yeah, elect Joe Biden, he'll legalize weed. No. Joe Biden was a tough-on-crime Democrat in the 90s. He locked up people for weed. He loves locking up people for weed. Kamala Harris loved locking up people for weed. So, and I mean, Kamala, she allegedly smoked weed and listened to Tupac in the 80s when Tupac was like 12. So anyway, I'm getting off tangent again. It appears President-elect Joe Biden may already be falling short on his campaign promises. The release of transition plan immediately noticed the reform of cannabis laws was not stated in the plan, despite many promises on the campaign trail. While drug law reform and cannabis legalization are not specifically mentioned in the plan, it's possible you can keep wishing that this could fall under the umbrella of criminal justice reform. So, you can hope in one hand and shit in the other that they will legalize marijuana, and you can see which one fills up first. So, the campaign site included a section called The Plan for Black America, where he promises to decriminalize the use of cannabis and automatically expunge all cannabis use convictions. The fact that this language was in the pre-election press release, but missing from the most recent ones, has many activists very concerned. You got duped, okay? You got duped. So get used to it. I mean, that's why you're going to be really, really pissed off in about April when none of the shit that they promised is going to happen. So, again, that's just my predictions. I'm just some asshole on the internet. So take that for what it's worth. So, it's been about 10 minutes. We'll call it there. So, hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. God bless.